Good evening, everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching the Super Saturday debate with me, Shivani Gupta. But first up, we've got some breaking updates coming in. After India slammed Pakistan for Bhutto's irresponsible statements against Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Federal Minister of Pakistan, Shazia Mari, has issued a nuclear threat. She has said that if India keeps making allegations against Pakistan, the nuclear-capable country will not keep on listening silently. First up, listen into what she said.
बिलावल भुट्टो साहब ने एक, जैसे मैंने आपसे कहा कि हिकारत भरी एक जो है वो एक प्रोपेगेंडा पर मबनी स्टेटमेंट का बयान दिया, और क्यों ना दे पाकिस्तान किसी भी इस तरीके की स्टेटमेंट का जवाब। पाकिस्तान जवाब देना जानता है। पाकिस्तान वो मुल्क नहीं है जो एक थप्पड़ के नतीजे में दूसरा गाल आगे करेगा। पाकिस्तान अगर थप्पड़ पड़ेगा तो उसका जवाब भी थप्पड़ से देगा। ये बात मैं आपके तवज्जुह से क्लियर करना चाहती हूँ। और अगर भारत का कोई मिनिस्टर किसी भी फोरम पर मोदी सरकार के दिफा में इतना अंधा हो जाएगा कि वो ये नहीं सोचेगा कि वो एक न्यूक्लियर मुल्क के लिए, पाकिस्तान जैसे न्यूक्लियर मुल्क के लिए ऊल फूल बक सकता है, तो ये उसकी गलती है।
Well, raising the nuclear bogey once again in Pakistan, not for the first time. Abhishek Jha, my colleague, is joining us. Abhishek, there seems to be an absolute meltdown going on in Pakistan.
Of course, and as the saying goes, the weakest are supposed to, use the most lethal weapon first, and this is how probably Pakistan's minister is displaying her character by saying that Pakistan is a nuclear-armed country, and in case of any conflict, Pakistan will use all its power to ensure their country's safety and everything. Like we have seen the last 2 days of development when External Affairs Minister Jaishankar exposed Pakistan's contact and its nexus with various terrorist organizations and various terrorist individuals who are living in Pakistan. After that, Bilal Bhutto also had his comment where he targeted Prime Minister Modi. And ever since that, there has been widespread protests and outrage across India by various political parties where they have condemned Pakistan's foreign minister's statement. And in that light only, Ms. Mari, who is Pakistan's Minister for Poverty Alleviation, was doing this terrorist conference where she said that Pakistan will try and will not shy away from using the most lethal force that it has, and that is mostly nuclear. So it's quite a very irresponsible statement coming from a minister of a government in Pakistan, especially when India has always maintained that it will always adopt a policy of no first use as long as a nuclear weapon is considered.
All right, Abhishek, we'll leave it at that. Moving on to our big debate, a war of words continues between BJP and Congress after Rahul Gandhi's controversial statement on India-China Tawang clash. Rahul Gandhi had said that China is thrashing our Jawans in Arunachal Pradesh and our government is sleeping. The BJP trained all its guns against the Congress MP, demanding an unconditional apology. In fact, the BJP has even asked new Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge to sack Rahul Gandhi for his statement. The Congress party has backed Rahul Gandhi and has asked the BJP why the Prime Minister is silent over the Chinese threat. Here's the full story.
The commotion over Rahul Gandhi's statement on Tawang clashes seems to be growing. Rahul Gandhi's comments came days after skirmish between India and Chinese troops in Arunachal Pradesh.
उनका लद्दाख की साइड और अरुणाचल की साइड पूरा ऑफेंसिव प्रिपरेशन चल रहा है। हिंदुस्तान की सरकार सोई हुई है। इस बात को हिंदुस्तान की सरकार सुनना नहीं चाहती।
The BJP launched a no-holds-barred attack and demanded an unconditional apology from Rahul Gandhi. BJP's President JP Nadda alleged Congress's collusion with China and slammed Rahul for speaking the Pakistan language.
राहुल गांधी का बयान सच में भारत की सेना का मनोबल तोड़ने का काम करती है, और इसकी जितनी भी भर्त्सना की जाए, जितनी भी निंदा की जाए, वो कम है।
BJP didn't stop here. They claim that Rahul Gandhi has no faith in our army and that's the reason why he always questions our jawans' bravery. The BJP has even demanded Rahul Gandhi's sacking from Congress party.
राहुल गांधी जी के बयान पर मुझे कोई ज़्यादा हैरानी नहीं होती, लेकिन बार बार ये दिखाता है कि जब डोकलाम की घटना भी हुई तब भी राहुल गांधी जी किसी और के साथ नहीं, चाइनीज़ अधिकारियों के साथ सूप पीते नजर आए, जबकि भारतीय सेना के जवान अतिक्रमण करने वाले चीन के सैनिकों के साथ लोहा दिखाते हुए नजर आए।
Meanwhile, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh praised the army for their commendable job in Galwan and Tawang.
चाहे गलवान हो तो तवांग, हमारी सेना ने जिस शौर्य और पराक्रम का परिचय दिया है, उसकी जितनी भी प्रशंसा की जाए वह कम है।
On the other hand, the Congress has backed Rahul Gandhi's statement and asked that why Prime Minister is silent over the issue.
राहुल गांधी जी ने कल वो सच बयां कर दिया जिस पर पर्दा डालने की लाख कोशिशें मोदी सरकार कर रही थी। उन्होंने चीन से गहराते हुए संकट का जिक्र करते हुए ये जरूर कहा कि चीन कुछ बड़ा करने की फिराक में है, चीन तैयारी करता हुआ दिख रहा है युद्ध की और मोदी सरकार इवेंट मैनेजमेंट में लगी हुई है।
So by targeting the centre over China, has Rahul Gandhi undermined our army and crossed the line for political points?
Let's go across to the guest joining us. We are waiting the arrival of RP Singh, BJP national spokesperson, but I'm joined with Manvendra Singh of the Congress, Major General KK Sinha, defence analyst, and Ashok Sajjanhar, who's a former diplomat. Manvendra, I'll start with you. Is it not fair to say that Rahul Gandhi could have chosen better words to say something of the likes that the Chinese are thrashing us? It basically suggests that the Indian army is not up to the task, which I'm sure Rahul Gandhi didn't mean to say or suggest, but that's what he effectively ended up doing.
I don't think he said, I don't think he used those words that you're using.
उन्होंने बोला कि हमारी पिटाई कर रहे हैं, तो पिटाई कर रहे हैं का मतलब क्या होता है? आप किसी भी तरह उसको ट्रांसलेट कर लीजिए इंग्लिश में.
If you ask me a question, listen to me.
No, but you are saying that what I'm quoting is wrong. I'm just saying, first of all, for the benefit of my viewers, that what I quoted him as saying, of course, is paraphrasing from Hindi to English. It's pretty apt. Go ahead.
The forward positions reflect a mindset of war. That's what he said. If you think that is, undermining anybody's morale, that's bizarre because...
No, you are choosing a different sentence of his. He made multiple statements. We are running them on our screen as quotes. But one of those statements was, the one that has been objected to, Manvendra, is कि Chinese हमारी पिटाई कर रहे हैं. I'm only asking you specifically about that. Could he have not chosen better words?
I didn't hear him say that, so I can't comment on that. What I heard him say was that they have prepared forward positions and that forward positions reflect a mindset of war. And the government of India is silent about that. I've heard him say that and I'm commenting on that.
Okay, since you're saying you're not aware of what Rahul Gandhi said and what has been discussed nationally since last evening,
I haven't heard him say that.
I will get my producers to take out that particular portion where he's talking about the statement that I'm referring to and then one has been objected to.
If you see him say that, I'll comment on that.
I'm aghast by the fact that you're not aware of what statement of Rahul Gandhi I'm referring to.
That, okay?
But anyways, benefit of doubt, I'll ask my producers to take out that statement and we'll run that. In the meantime, let me go across to Major General KK Sinha. Major General, you must have heard the statement that I'm referring to. What do you think as a former army personnel?
Shivani, Jai Hind and good evening. Shivani, when you hear, a main opposition, party leader saying like this, you are saddened to that extent that, in the India, which is emerging out both, in a whole, sphere. Now we have got someone, just because of political gimmicks, they can use this type of words. And especially when he's saying that, Indian army is getting thrashing. It amounts to what? That we are cowardice. We are the people who are running away. We are giving up, everything. These are the things, exactly what it actually means. And not me. If you ask anyone who has to carry out an independent analysis, it means exactly. And he is speaking in Hindi. There is nothing, he is speaking in a foreign language. He is not really speaking in English. But he is saying, पिट रहे हैं और हमारी गवर्नमेंट सो रही है. means government sleeping at, someone is there to defend government, but government becomes, the army will become the part because it's instrument of the government. It means that, our army is sleeping, that, our chiefs are sleeping, and the commanders are sleeping, where it is the other way around. What has happened, especially after Galwan. I will not talk, what happened in 2017 when, Doklam was happening and he was having, something gala time with the Chinese. I will not ask, I will not repeat it that, I think 1 crore and 38 lakhs has gone in his fund foundation. So I leave that, all those things. But I will ask, as a military man, as my men are, because what happened in Yangtze, it is absolutely different. And Shivani, I am, talking with some authority. I have been Major General Operations, and Yangtze was there for 5 long years. I have seen this. And we have been doing from ages in this area, and proactively we are doing it. Because we are in a dominating position.
So I have the statement that Rahul Gandhi made, which created this furor. Now, the reason this statement is being objected to, because it almost suggests that one, the Indian army is not up to the task and they are being thrashed by the Chinese, or that there is just single, action from one side while we are not retaliating. While, of course, we've had noted members of the Indian army, serving members of the Indian army, and of course the statement from the Raksha Mantri to talk about the retaliation from India, even if there was a transgression from the PLA. Let's listen into that full statement.
जिन्होंने 2000 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर हिंदुस्तान का उठा लिया, जिन्होंने हिंदुस्तान के 20 जवानों को शहीद किया, जो हमारे जवानों को अरुणाचल प्रदेश में पीट रहे हैं, मैंने कहा हिंदुस्तान की प्रेस मुझसे इनके बारे में एक सवाल नहीं पूछेगी। जो चाइना का थ्रेट है, और मुझे तो वो क्लियर, और मैं इसको अब 2-3 सालों से कह रहा हूं, वो बिल्कुल क्लियर है और सरकार उसको छुपाने की कोशिश कर रही है, सरकार उसको इग्नोर कर रही है, मगर उस थ्रेट को ना छुपाया जा सकेगा और ना इग्नोर किया जा सकेगा।
All right, Manvendra ji, I played that out for you. Now, quoting him in Hindi, he's saying, जो हमारे जवानों को पीट रहे हैं, इसका क्या मतलब है सर? और मैंने तो आपसे सिर्फ यही सवाल पूछा था कि क्या राहुल गांधी थोड़े बेटर शब्दों का इस्तेमाल नहीं कर सकते थे?
Well, he said that the Chinese assaulted Indian troops, and obviously the visuals are very clear that the Indians have retaliated. So obviously there's nothing to, we haven't lost anything. We held on to our territory in Yangtze. The threat of Chinese mobilization remains. China's forward positions across the LAC, especially in the western sector and the eastern sector, not the central sector.
No, sir, you are going into discussing the security situation, which I have no problem. I would have discussed with you. I have discussed it over the last week, as has our network. My question to you was very specific. As a senior leader of the Congress party and an MP currently, is this the kind of language a senior leader and a parliamentarian should be using for our jawans? This is not about the government. He has categorically said wo hamare jawanon ko peet rahe hain.
I haven't seen your television, I haven't seen your channel, I haven't seen your interviews, so I can't comment on what you've done for the last 1 week. You asked me a question today and I've answered that question.
Yeah, so answer my question. Could he have chosen better words? Is this the way a parliamentarian should speak of our Indian jawans? That's my question to you.
Well, will you ask the same question of the Prime Minister?
That's not a response, sir.
That no Chinese intruded into Indian territory. Will you ask that question of the Prime Minister?
When I get the opportunity, I'll ask him. I'm having an opportunity to ask you a question, sir. Why are you shying away from an answer? If he has said nothing wrong, why are you shying away from an answer? What about is hardly the answer here? Because I'm asking you this question because the Congress party is repeatedly, accused of demeaning the honor, the valor, and the morale of the Indian army.
There is no. You cannot bring the Indian army into this equation. It's not a partner in this discussion.
No, but he has talked about our jawans. I am not bringing the Indian army into the equation. राहुल गांधी स्टेटमेंट इज वो हमारे जवानों को पीट रहे हैं, वो तो इंडियन आर्मी के जवान की बात कर रहे हैं ना, उसमें तो गवर्नमेंट का कोई वो नहीं है. His statement is on the Indian army, on Indian jawans.
There is an assault. That assault is visually available.
How?
And the assault has been replied by the Indian jawan bravely, and we all lauded that.
First of all, the video you're talking about is not from this incident.
It's got nothing to do with the political party affiliation.
The video that you're referring to is not actually from this incident. That's a predated incident. But anyways, we don't have any visuals of the Tawang clash. So you're factually incorrect on that as well. I've got RP Singh of the BJP.
I am born in the army, so I have access to. I am born in the army, so I have access to some visual which you may not be having.
So, sir, don't refer to those visuals that we don't have access to.
I have access to visuals which you don't have.
But, sir, you are referring to the visuals that we are running or that the public has access to. Those are not visuals from Tawang. Why are you referring to visuals that you are privately, have access to when the world has not seen them? I cannot talk about them.
Because I have access to the army because I was born in it.
Sir, you are completely missing the point here. I don't know what you're arguing with me about.
I'm not missing any point. I think you're missing the point as a
No, my point is very crystal clear. Rahul Gandhi, could he have chosen better words to refer to the situation? The questions that the Congress party is raising on the situation with China or at the border, notwithstanding, and nobody has an objection to it. They are well within their rights to ask for a debate in Parliament, outside Parliament. The question is about the words chosen by the former Congress president to refer to Indian Jawans and their valor and their position against the PLA. RP Singh of the BJP is finally with us. RP Singh, the Congress party refuses to acknowledge your charge that Rahul Gandhi has disrespected the Indian army.
Well, does he have any proof that Indian army was beaten by the Chinese army? But still he made a statement. Is clearly demoralizing the army. Nothing more than that. It's not the first time it is happening. He has done it earlier also. When Section 370-35A was abrogated, even that time also he said, oh, there is a bloodbath which is happening in Kashmir. And whereas not a single stone was pelted, nothing happened in Kashmir. But that's how Rahul Gandhi is. I mean, he speaks whatever the Chinese or whatever other interested parties want him to speak. I'm accusing for this because otherwise, how does he have any input for that reason? And when Army General says not an inch of land has been occupied by China, he comes and says, oh, our land has been occupied by China. Although I remember NSA Sham Sharan is on record saying that 640 kilometers of land was occupied by China.
Okay. No, the other questions to the government aside, and those questions are fairly legitimate about the situation overall. Manvendra ji, I'll give you one more opportunity. RP Singh has a point. You are referring to some video that you have access to, but Rahul Gandhi is referring to what when he says कि हमारे जवानों को पीट रहे हैं? To what is he referring to?
I don't know. Ask him the question. I'm not privy to what he said in terms of your question. You can ask him the question. I'm commenting on what you asked me in terms of the language used, and my comment is that is the question applicable to the PM to say that nobody is intruding into Indian territory? Isn't that a valid question?
That's a valid question in its own right, but that doesn't answer my question or the question over Rahul Gandhi today. Anyways, I've gone into this with you. I need to get some of my other guests some time also. Ashok Sajjanhar, you're a diplomat. These are sensitive issues. I don't trust that politicians will use the language of diplomacy per se or diplomats. But what do you make of the language and the sentence used by Rahul Gandhi?
I think, number one, it is factually incorrect. It is a factually inaccurate statement. वो कहाँ हमारे जवान पिट रहे हैं? हमारे जवान जो भी, Shivani, what you have said, the video that has gone viral and that has been available to all of us, it might be, what you're showing right now. It might be of a different time. It might be of a different place. But I think the sense is very, very clear that हमारे जवान पिट नहीं रहे हैं, हमारे जवान उनकी बहुत अच्छी पिटाई कर रहे हैं.
Yeah, even in that video, actually, our jawans are not getting quote-unquote thrashed.
Yeah, they are not getting thrashed. So, making statements like this, number one, it is very demoralizing. But I'd like to make another point, related point, Shivani, which you might wish to consider. I think this is what, China must be extremely happy at what is happening in India. Because, this is the time when we really, all of us need to get together, particularly as far as the opposition is concerned. They need to come with the government and, tell the government that we are solidly with you as far as dealing with the Chinese threat is concerned. It's not as if, the government doesn't know about this threat. If we had not known about this threat, we would not have responded in the manner in which we did in 2017 in Doklam. We would not have responded in the manner in which we did in Galwan. We have positioned more than 50,000 of our soldiers, heavy artillery equipment on the border 24/7, 365 days, in a face eyeball to eyeball confrontation, so to say, with the Chinese. And here also, the details that have become clear right now, Shivani, is that there were 50 people, 50 soldiers of ours which were at the post. But since we had been very carefully observing all the activities that had been going on the other side of the line of actual control, we knew that the Chinese were up to something, and very quickly we were able to marshal additional resources, additional manpower, and that is how we were able to beat them back, and they were not able to, achieve whatever they
exactly.
might have
If
had in
anything,
mind. So
the fact that the Indian army thwarted the attempts by the PLA is a testament to how alert they were in this situation, the preparation that they were that was under their belt, and of course the strength and valor in which a smaller number of Indian army forces met with almost 300 PLA soldiers in the dead of the night without any premonition or provocation. So that just goes on to show that exactly the opposite happened. We actually managed to thrash them, quote unquote, to use a figure of speech. But I also spoke to Captain Amrinder Singh, former Punjab Chief Minister, and a man, of course, who's been in the Congress party for 5 decades, now with the BJP. And this is what he had to say on the statement by Rahul Gandhi. Then I'll come back to our guests.
You've been with the Congress party for a very long time. You've interacted with their leaders, including Rahul Gandhi. But you're also a former, defense forces person. I want to understand from you the language that Rahul Gandhi used, that our men are getting thrashed by the Chinese. Do you feel that this was appropriate language?
No, that's not only an appropriate language, it is an incorrect statement. I mean, apart from the fact that in the Galwan area where the CEO of the Biharis was killed also, where there was something happening, and subsequently, of course, they took whatever area was there, that's taken back. But it's never happened. We have never subsequently, wherever these incidents have taken place, we have got the better of them. I think I wish you had heard the General Nirvane's statement the other day. He made it clear as to what all happened during his duration, his taking over and while he was chief. So we have not got the Chinese have certainly not got the better of us. Whatever little did take place in Galwan, that's over. We are back in Galwan and everything is normal there.
That's just an excerpt of the conversation I had with him. But I think we get the sense that he's saying that not only is this inappropriate, but also this is factually incorrect. A sentiment echoed by some of our other guests. I want to go across to Major General K.K. Sinha one more time. I don't think the morale of the Indian Army can be brought down by stray comments here and there. But is it fair to say that, a senior politician, when they speak like this, it does affect maybe the morale of members of the Indian Armed Forces who have served earlier, who are currently serving?
Shivani, look, when you listen this type of, irresponsible statement, something absolutely charged and which is not correct, only thing you feel very pity about it. Feel pity about it, that we are having, because he is very important part of our political system. It is, the government of the day can be of anyone because it is a matter of the people, the people selected who. He is main opposition. He can be, in the seat of power. But if this type of people, who just because of pity gains, I am very sure Rahul Gandhi knows about it, exactly what he is doing it, and he just saying because of frustration. Because of political mileages, if they are doing it, and it seems that, he's standing with the enemy. You see, anyone who will talk like this, no one will talk. Anyone who will talk, who has got some sympathy, directly, indirectly, is benefiting he is talking from the enemy side.
Okay,
he's not talking
fair enough.
from
Can I
your side.
take that to our Congress representative, that when Indian politicians make such statements, it doesn't matter which political party they belong to, it ends up strengthening the enemy, in this case, China. Manvendra ji.
Yeah, it does, because that's what happened in 2020 when the PM said nobody's included. And the Chinese went to town over it. They went all over the world. Their national media and their entire network just went gaga over that statement, which was factually incorrect. And, so that's the question I asked of you, that, will you refer that to the PM and ask him for a comment? You didn't, and you wouldn't. So,
don't speak on my behalf. Manvendra Singh, don't speak on my behalf. What I will do and not do when I get the opportunity to question the Prime Minister, I don't think you should be talking on my behalf. You are here as a representative of the Congress Party. Please put the line of the Congress Party.
Question. I'm at as much at liberty to ask you a question as you are.
No, so I answered your question.
And I think it's very clear that the Chinese intentions remain very hostile to India, and they have been hostile for the last few years. They made it very apparent since 2020, and it's very explicit. The forward positions that they've adopted is not for a picnic. It's for they're preparing for a conflict. There's no reason why they would invest so much of manpower and infrastructure in forward positions unless
nobody is even contesting that argument. And so far, the Congress Party had held the government accountable for whatever they thought they needed to be held accountable, and had made very responsible statements, not really, going back to the times when some of their statements have been seen as anti-army. But possibly the good work that the Congress leaders had done was thwarted in this one statement that Rahul Gandhi has made. That's the question that I'm trying to pose to you. Could he have chosen better words? But anyways, you've answered what you've answered. I've got to give 30 seconds to RP Singh. RP Singh, the question also that stands is that, why pick on one statement of Rahul Gandhi? Why not look at the larger question that the Congress Party is posing to you, which is that the country needs to know more, first of all. And secondly, what is India's long-term strategy against Chinese aggression?
Well, as a country needs to know more. I mean, they can debate this in the parliament, whereas they walk out of the parliament when the subject was to be discussed last time. One. Secondly, but my problem is somewhere else. Whether it's the Karnataka, their leader, Shiv Kumar, who uses terrorism as a tool for political objective. He gives clean chit to terrorists, saying that no, this is all propaganda of BJP, only for a vote bank. And here, Rahul Gandhi is using the valor of army. He's speaking against the valor of the army, only for to cater to certain interests. We don't know what interest it is.
Okay, I have to leave it at that. I have to leave it at that without going into the larger debate that the BJP and Congress have been having. I do thank all of our guests for joining us today. The public ultimately will be the judge of whether the statement crossed a line or not. Thanks a lot for watching.